You know it's big when the GOAT lends his voice to Fox Sports and to the World Series. Thank you, Tom Brady. Let's go down to the field and check in with Ken Rosenthal to talk to Dave Roberts.
Thanks, Joe. Dave, you've had one day off since playing 7 games in 7 days. You don't know who's going to start tomorrow. How would you describe the state of your pitching staff?
I think great, Kenny. It's something we play for. We had a day off, and all hands on deck. This is the World Series. We're ready to go.
Dave, thank you. Over to Tom Verducci with Kevin Cash.
Thanks. Kevin, pitching carried you here. Now you draw the game's #1 offense. What signs will you look for from Tyler Glasnow early in this game to know that he's executing?
Just that he's landing his breaking ball. If he gets that going early, he can, we know how good these guys are, but he'll give us every opportunity.
Kevin, thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Joe.
Well, you can't find two more amenable managers for us in the television business with Kevin Cash and Dave Roberts. It's going to be fun to get to know them, to get to know their teams better over the next week. And here's the Rays lineup. Yandy Diaz will lead it off. He's at first. Brandon Lowe bats second. At second, Randy Arozarena hits third. The DH in the middle. Renfroe, Margot, and Wendell. The back end, Willy Adames, the shortstop. Kevin Kiermaier is in center, and Mike Zunino played long ball in the ALCS, especially in Game 7. Drove in 2 of the 4 runs in the clincher against the Houston Astros. And here is the left-hander Clayton Kershaw. You look at the career numbers, you look at his resume, former MVP, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, the postseason record under 500, the World Series record, an ERA of 5.40. I don't think anybody was more excited that the Dodgers got past the Atlanta Braves and Clayton Kershaw. He got a loss in that NLCS, and now he gets another crack at a World Series start.
Yeah, he's ready. He's more rested, and he's out there not to pitch to his narrative, but pitch his team to the first World Series in over 30 years. He's got numbers that we could talk about for the next 7 innings, but he has been simply awesome. He needs to do what he does the regular season.
He fires a strike. 93 through the heart of the zone to Yandy Diaz. The numbers in the postseason for the Tampa Bay Rays are not very good with the bats. In fact, they've hit just .209 during the postseason, and they're averaging almost 11 strikeouts per game. Talking to Kevin Cash before the game, asking him about how he thinks the ball carries in the stadium. He said, we're just looking for singles. We need hits. As the count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike from Kershaw.
Yeah, a lot of swing and miss out of the Rays. They've struck out at least 10 times in the last 4 games.
That pops in there at 92 and the count 1-2.
They're very opportunistic as far as they try to get their runs on home runs, and they're awfully good when they score first, winning 81% of their games. So they want to get out in front, and they want to play a shorter game so they can turn it over to their pen.
3 out of 24 with a bat, make it 4 out of 25. Goes the other way, and Diaz is on to start the night. Backed up at a ball and 2 strikes. And Yandy shoots one through the right side for a leadoff base hit. Here's the defense for the Los Angeles Dodgers in the outfield. It's Peterson, Bellinger, and Betts. The defensive star in the NLCS for sure. Around the infield, Turner, Seager, Taylor Muncy, and the catcher. He catches when Kershaw pitches, Austin Barnes behind the plate. And that battery will try to figure out a way around that leadoff hit.
Be careful on the first pitch. He has struggled, has Lau, but he will attack the first pitch off Kershaw.
He takes down for ball 1. Talking to Brandon's manager, Kevin Cash, he said Brandon is just pressing. He carried this team during the regular season, according to Kevin, and the numbers bear that out. He led the club in hits with 52, and he's just 6 out of 52 this postseason. Jammed, and he pops it up. Left side, playable for Turner. 1 on, 1 out. Well, a new sensation in Major League Baseball is Randy Arozarena. First rookie position player to win the MVP of an LCS or World Series. The postseason numbers are ridiculous. He is 1 home run shy of the all-time record, granted with more opportunities because there are more games these days than ever. As you look at the numbers overall, the OPS after hitting .281 during the regular season, he's been unbelievable. And John, it's like a right-handed hitting Barry Bonds dropped out of the sky for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, it's crazy when you look at some of the numbers. Like, loves the ball on the top of the zone. Now look for Clayton to establish inside and then get him with 2 strikes or ahead of the count with that slider / curveball. He has crushed the ball when he is ahead in the count.
Oh no! Tried to hold up. He did.
And think about what he's done individually with the homers. He hasn't gotten a hit with a runner in scoring position. He has dominated the strike zone when he's ahead, and he's really struggled when he's been behind with 2 strikes. And tell you what, the timing for the Rays and this young man couldn't be any better.
Those are the numbers from what he's done in the first inning. That bounces in. Nice block by Barnes, and you can just go back to Saturday night in Game 7 in the series against the Houston Astros. He went deep with a 2-run shot. And John, he has shown that he will go deep in any part of any ballpark.
Yeah, it really has been extraordinary power. And this ballpark, I'll tell you what, if he does it here, then you really tip your hat to him. Center field here is no joke.
2-1 pitch is in the dirt again. And it's 3-1. A leadoff hit, a pop-up. Hunter Renfroe waits to hit next.
So this is a situation ideally for him when he controls the strike zone. This is what he loves hitting. He's ahead 3-1. He can sit on a pitch and try to do damage.
Big hole on the right side of the infield. Here it is, and down low yet again. A hit, and now a walk with 1 out. Home plate umpire is Laz Diaz, working in his 2nd World Series, and we go around the horn. Bill Miller is the crew chief. He's at first. Chris Guccione at 2nd, with Marvin Hudson at 3rd. Jerry Meals in left. Mark Carlson is in right. Todd Tishner has the night off because he will work the plate tomorrow night in Game 2. Here is Hunter Renfroe, who hit just 156 during the regular season.
Yeah, he's really been struggling. They feel like, though, talking to his manager, that he's been unlucky. Hit a lot of balls hard, hit him into the shift.
28 years old. He takes high for ball 1.
Early on, the slider for Kershaw has been a little off, and that's his money pitch when he wants to get a strike without the fastball. The curveballs against Renfroe might not be a great idea, where he has been really successful since last year. 20 home runs on breaking balls since 2018.
Here's a 1-0 on the inside corner. Look, you were a big game pitcher, John. What is the situation as far as Clayton Kershaw is concerned in the postseason? Why are the postseason numbers so drastically different from the regular season?
Well, 2 different reasons. The early stages of Kershaw having to carry the franchise in the postseason. I'll explain that.
Good pitch there, strike 2.
He was the guy going on 3 days rest. He was the guy pitching a game coming out of it, and he was the guy carrying 240 innings. And I think the biggest thing about Clayton Kershaw is not a lack of desire and passion. Matter of fact, it might be a little too much. You're the best pitcher in the universe, and sometimes you get to the postseason and you think you have to be even better. There's no possible way he can be better. It's hard, though, to run away from that when everyone's talking about what you haven't done in the postseason. I will say this, no one can go back, and they don't want to talk about the individual weird games that collectively has a higher ERA. But for the most part, he's pitched way better than the narrative. But you would never know that, because his record doesn't show it, and certainly the Dodgers haven't won a World Series while he's been there. Here's his chance tonight, and it starts with a bumpy first inning. If he gets out of this inning, watch him cruise, in my opinion, having got it out of this first inning.
Standing in his way is Hunter Renfroe. Count even at 2-2. And a foul back by the former San Diego Padre. When you look at some of the names that have struggled in this round of the postseason, I mean, you're looking at some of the best pitchers ever who have had a tough time in this final round.
Well, there's a hyper focus from the opposing players and the batters to take away something and not giving it bat away because it is the World Series, as opposed to a regular season at bat.
Renfroe went around, and that's a strikeout for Kershaw.
And what I mean by that, Joe, is there's probably 20% over the course of 162 games where hitters are just going to give away a bat, not intentionally, but they just weren't locked in. That doesn't happen in the postseason. And they have scouting reports, attention to detail, and you're going to absolutely hone in on a guy like Clayton Kershaw because he demands every bit of your attention on how good he is.
So Renfroe went too far. He didn't agree, and now the batter is Margot, who has found his power stroke again. Hit 1 home run during the regular season. He's hit 5 in the postseason. Margot and Arozarena have carried this Rays offense through October. Up and away, ball 1.
The other thing you got to guard against is pitching for the results or to change the results. You really got to you just got to get in that cylinder and just take each batter one at a time and not get caught up in, oh no, here we go again.
Drills the inside corner, ball and a strike. Margot hit .269 with just that 1 home run. 12 homers last year with the Padres, 8 the year before, 13 the year before, and you see by those numbers he started to find it again. 1-1. That's a tough play. Kershaw off the mound, gloves, grips and got him to end the inning and gets around a hit and a walk. Game 1, inning number 1. Kershaw had to re-grip, got his man. No score after a half. No score after a half. Kershaw got around a hit and a walk. And now we get to see this tall, young right-hander who can bring it, Tyler Glasnow.
Amazing downhill fastball at about 100 miles an hour with a breaking ball, an occasional changeup, but pretty much a fastball breaking ball pitcher, and going against one of the best fastball hitting teams, and not to mention guys who just don't miss the fastball. Mookie Betts being one of those. Only 11% has he missed on fastballs.
Tyler got it going at the end of the regular season. Just unbeatable as he pours that in at 96. He was 5-0 over his last 7 starts from the 3rd week of August till the end of the year. You saw the numbers in the postseason. 2 wins, 1 loss. ERA bigger than normal, and that's chopped foul left side. That's strike 2. Mookie Betts leads it off. You know that part. Corey Seager, the NLCS MVP. Justin Turner, Muncy, Smith, Bellinger in the middle. Taylor, Jock Peterson, Austin Barnes does the catching, and he is batting 9th. 2 quick strikes on Betts, and now that bounces in from Glasnow.
That's where Glasnow wants to be. He's one of the best in all of baseball at on-base percentage, meaning guys getting on base with 2 strikes. He just doesn't give up much, and that's where he wants to give the Dodgers all kinds of fits by getting ahead early, getting to 2 strikes, letting his power play, and using the weapon that he has.
Betts set up at 1-2. And that breaking ball is fouled. And just to give you a stat with regard to the velocity for Glasnow, this postseason his fastball has averaged over 98 miles per hour. He's thrown 99 pitches at 98 and above. That is the hardest of any pitcher this postseason. But he's got a great curveball. Good luck. Go get him. 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
But this theme that the Dodgers have that they carry throughout their entire lineup is pretty incredible. They may make an out, but they're going to make the pitcher work, and nobody does it better than Mookie Betts. He hasn't been his prototypical self yet. You feel like he's starting to get hot. Started off in between the first and second series, just a little sluggish, but you think his timing might be the best right here.
That runs the count full, 3-2. So 100, but balls 2-3. Dodgers were down 3-1 to the Braves, won games 5 through 7, and they're in the World Series for the 3rd time over the last 4 years. Three-two pitch. Off the end of the bat, right side. It is bobbled, but Diaz has time, and that's out number 1. Let's give you the defense for Tampa Bay. It is a terrific outfield. Margot, Kiermaier, and Renfroe in the outfield, left to right. And it's a very good defensive infield. Wendell, Adames, Lau, Diaz, with the catcher Zunino, and Glasnow on the mound.
It's one of the power matchups. First pitch batting average against Glasnow, one of the lowest in all of baseball. And guess who likes to swing on the first pitch?
Arnold. He also likes to check swing. That's low for ball 1.
Yeah, he went to hunt a fastball right there and held up on a really good overhand breaking ball.
And here's the NLCS MVP, the number 2 hitter. It was going to be either the number 2 hitter for the Dodgers or the number 2. Whoa! Good. Yep. That came back and hit Diaz, the umpire.
93-mile-an-hour changeup. Right now, he's been just kind of spiking some pitches. You can expect that. A little bit of nerves. Kershaw survived a little shaky first inning. First couple pitches, 96. Now he's at full tilt, throwing the next fastballs at around 100.
2-0 pitch is chopped foul. Diaz might be the toughest guy in Texas right now. He didn't flinch. Laz calling the balls and strikes tonight. 2-1 the count. Second World Series for Seager was injured when the Dodgers were in it in 2018. That's foul as he's out in front of it. 2-2.
Well, he's healthy and he's dominating right now, and he's got to feel great when he comes to. It's got to feel like a mistake if somebody gets him out. That's how good a hitter goes. He's seeing the pitches. The first one he tried to hunt fastball and held up. Other than that, he's barreling up everything he sees.
2-2 pitch is down. Saw that stat on the bottom line. The only other shortstop to win the MVP award in NLCS history is Osborne Earl Smith, also known as Ozzie. That year he corked one down the line. It might go. It did go, and people went crazy. 3-2 pitch is on the way, and it's a 1-out walk. Well, it's back, and that's good. Last year, I barely got out of my mouth, and they were giving away tacos. This World Series is an event full of rich history and tradition. Includes steal a base, steal a taco. When a player steals a base in the World Series, they steal a free Doritos Locos Taco for everyone in America. Steal a base, steal a taco is back only at Taco Bell.
I'm not saying Corey Seager will steal a base, but you can steal a base off of Tyler Glasnow. If the right guy gets on. They stole 9 bases on him during the year.
Hey! 99 for strike 1 of Justin Turner, who has 71 career postseason hits. He's number 2 among active players, and his 15 postseason doubles. Number 1 in Dodger franchise history. Again, more opportunities, more games in the postseason. That is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Not that you can your curveball against a good curveball hitting guy, but I'd be careful with the curveball against Turner. He's done a great job against right-handed curveballs on the year, and the 4-seam fastball this year has beat the barrel of the bat. Not in his career, but in this year, statistically, struggles against the 4-seamer.
Glasnow falls behind, 2-1. Tyler came to the Rays in a typical great Tampa Bay Rays deal in a trade with Pittsburgh. The Chris Archer deal that happened at the trading deadline 2 years ago. 2-1 pitch is down. Wild here, 99, 3-1. Run the count to 3 out of the strike zone on the first 3 hitters. Betts grounded out. Seager drew a walk. And you know that Turner is going to try and catch up with one here with a count in his favor. skies one into right. Easy for Renfroe. 2 down. That'll bring in Max Muncy.
Max Muncy, along with several of the Dodgers, likes velocity and likes velocity up. Doesn't like the curveball quite as much, but this is another good matchup when you're scouting a player and you're trying to find a comp for. Good luck trying to find a comp for 100 miles an hour, but he will get the top of the zone with fastball. That's not going to make him nervous.
Glass now brings it, and a high fly ball into center. Coming in to grab it is Kiermaier. And each pitcher threw a scoreless first in game 1. Here's an exclusive look at the world's first all-electric super truck, the all-new GMC Hummer EV. To reserve yours, be sure to visit gmc.com. He is a Dallas native, lives in Dallas during the offseason from Highland Park. Went to Highland Park High, the Scots. Was there with Matthew Stafford. There's where Dallas is. There's where we are in Arlington, Texas, making his 5th career World Series start. And for the 3rd time, it happens in the series opener. You said during the break, and heck, you said it during the inning, Kershaw gets out of that. And around the hit and the walk, he should cruise.
Yeah, you get a little bit of, no matter how many times you've been out there, you want to get your team off to a good start, and you get a little bit of the jitters, and it just happens. And once you get your feel, a pitcher like Clayton Kershaw has such unique mechanics. We'll break them down during the game, but once he gets the feel for that slider, Rays are going to be in a little bit of trouble.
0-1 the count. Here is Wendell shooting one into left field, and barely having to move is John Peterson. Joey Wendell is now 9 for 41 this postseason, and he's out number 1 here in the 2nd. Answer 6 questions about tonight's matchup between the Rays and the Dodgers, and you could win $25,000. It's super easy, free to play. So download the Fox Bet Super 6 app. There's still time to get your picks in for tonight's game, and there will be chances to win throughout the World Series. No, John, I don't think you're eligible. 1 out, nobody on, and Adames takes a strike.
This guy is kind of their heart and soul. Always smiling, plays great shortstop. A little bit of swing and miss in his game this postseason, but he loves playing this game.
If we are being reporters here in this World Series, I will say that the atmosphere is different than we experienced in the NLCS with the Atlanta Braves and the Dodgers. There was a lot more excitement, a lot more noise. I think fans just getting ready to kind of settle in to this matchup between the Dodgers and the Rays. Strike 2 now on Adames. There were a lot of Atlanta Braves fans here in attendance, and now the Rays fans have taken their place. 1-2 pitch. There is another strikeout, 2nd of the night. And a good low delivery from Kershaw, 2 out.
Here's the slider we're talking about. Looks like a fastball coming out of his hand, and then look at the tight spin, and it just disappears down and in. Hitter goes to attack it like a fastball. Here's a great look. And then he comes at you, and that ball has just late movement. And a swing and miss for Adames.
It'll bring in Kiermaier. Good to see Kevin in the lineup for Tampa Bay. He was hit in the left-hand wrist area game 3 with a pitch that was nearly 100 miles per hour. He had to sit out. The next 3 came back to play in game 7. They just want his presence in the lineup, his glove in center field. But a bad wrist facing Kershaw, it's not a good combination.
No, it's
ball
not.
1 strike here. Strike 2.
Kershaw over his career has an insane opponent's batting average against left-handers. You can see why. He just has such an interesting tilt and delivery that makes it tough on left-handers, and then he can throw his curveball at any time.
Outside, 2-2. Kiermaier, one of the couple of homegrown players, so to speak, product of the farm system by the Rays in this lineup. 2-2 pitch. Flies one easy into left. Peterson is there, and a 1-2-3 second for Kershaw. This postseason, Fox Sports along with Samsung Galaxy 5G gives fans an immersive viewing experience like never before. Here's Kevin Burkhardt with more. Series. Only hit belongs to Yandy Diaz, the leadoff man for Tampa Bay. 1-2-3 second for Kershaw. Now Glasnow tries to match him and misses down and away with a fastball to Will Smith.
You see Glasnow pitches exclusively out of the stretch, and that's to try to limit and help him be more consistent in throwing strikes.
There's a good delivery. 1 ball, 1 strike to the guy who popped a 3-run home run, which was the difference maker in Game 5 of the NLCS. 25-year-old catcher. It's a 5-hit game this postseason. It came against San Diego, and that is upstairs for ball 2.
Struggles with the breaking balls. That's why you're seeing some early and really good where he keeps his hands. It just seems like to me, if I was out on the mound, it would be do not get the ball up, try to get the ball down. Good high ball hitter. And right now he's turned into a great hitter for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He started out, for those of you who didn't catch the first couple series, he was 0 for 11. And then on the last game against the Padres went 5 for 5. And then that 3-run homer Joe was talking about, huge against the Braves.
Yes. He went around. It is a 4 outfield configuration for Will Smith. Only 3 infielders, and the right side of the infield pretty wide open. So protecting against a ball in the gap. You got to stay alert when you're doing a Rays game. 3-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Good pitch by Glasnow, gets his first strikeout of the night. And now Cody Bellinger coming up. He hit the game-winning home run in Game 7, and then in the celebration, he and Kike.
Yeah, I saw it live, and I couldn't believe that how violent it was, and I'm guaranteeing that there won't be many of those out of Cody.
His shoulder actually popped out, and Tom Verducci, when we talked to Dave Roberts, his manager, before the game, he was under the impression that Cody Bellinger would wear a brace in the game.
Yeah, it's actually the 3rd time that shoulder has popped out, and Cody told me it's followed the same pattern. 1 day of rest where it was very sore, but the next day, which is today, he's fine. So no brace, no wrap. I joked with him that he gave new meaning to the shot heard around the world, not the home run, but the celebration. And he said, look for a foot tap tonight if I hit a home run.
Yeah, calm it down. 2-0 pitch is grounded to the right side. Diaz backs up and says, I got this. No problem. 2-out. And with the bases empty, Chris Taylor walks in. This Tampa Bay team beat Toronto 2-0. Got through the Yankees in 5, 3 games to 2. They were up 3 games to nothing on the Houston Astros. The Astros didn't give up. Made it a 3-3 series in Tampa Bay. Behind Charlie Morton, won Game 7. So they're 9-5 this postseason. It takes 13 total wins in the postseason to win it all. There's a strike to Taylor.
They've done an incredible job. I just think back 3 years ago when they came out with a lot of different styles of how they were going to go about the season. They tried it. It didn't work the way they thought. They self-corrected the following year, and that's what they do best. They self-correct. Even if they think differently than the rest, they apply the information and they put the players in the positions and see things in players that other organizations don't typically think will be a strength for them, and they utilize the strength wearing a Rays uniform.
0-2 pitch. Left side, tough play. Adames can't get to it. And Taylor is on with his 8th hit of this postseason. And with 2 out here in the second.
And an example of that is 3 years ago, they didn't let their starters go through the lineup more than twice. Well, what happened is they exposed their bullpen. The bullpen had injuries, and they realized we better go get starters. They went and got a Glasnow. They went and got a Charlie Morton. They had Blake Snell. They've had guys that were going to be here but had some injuries. So what they've done is complemented the information that they have, and they've put together arm angles, velocity, and a pitching staff that can compete against anybody's offense.
Go to Ken Rosenthal after the first pitch to Jock Peterson. Jock with 1 home run in this postseason. 9 out of 24. Waits and takes. Go down to first, and Taylor able to get back. Barely. Ken Rosenthal, it's a different formula for the Tampa Bay Rays, but man, it is fun to watch.
It is, Joe, and all teams use analytics. We know that now, but the difference with the Rays is that they integrate it seamlessly throughout the organization. The scouts and the statistical analysts, the front office and the coaching staff with manager Kevin Cash, and then Cash and the coaches to the players. Culture of innovation and collaboration, it starts at the top with this team, with owner Stu Sternberg telling the employees, you can break some windows, just don't burn the place down.
And then with regard to the players, I mean, whether it's Morton coming out in Game 7, or it's Blake Snell coming out in Game 6. Kevin Cash said, for our players, they need thick skin or short memories. And if they're upset with coming out, they got to get over it. And they do. That's just the way they do it. And here they are, a playoff team a year ago, and a more dangerous team here in 2020.
And they were built for 162. This is not just a byproduct of the 60-game schedule. They could have done this all year, not to the degree that they may have done it in the postseason, because the postseason's always different. But they have the horses to go all year.
1-0 pitch is swung on and missed by Peterson.
Hey, listen, they had the hardest schedule, and they beat up on some pretty darn good teams. They went 21-9 against teams over 500. And when you're doing that, you're pretty darn good. As opposed to the Dodgers went 8-5. They just didn't have that many games on their schedule where teams were 500 or above.
So Eric Neander, who is now in charge of putting this roster together. What a job he's done. 1-1 pitch is in for a strike. Andrew Friedman, meanwhile, is in the 6th year of his reign as president of baseball operations with the Dodgers. They won the division every year he's been in charge. 3rd time they've been in the World Series, and he led Tampa Bay to 4 postseason appearances and the 2008 World Series. So he put it in place, and it's carried on. 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed by Peterson, blocked by Zunino in the out at first. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Rays have left 2. Dodgers have left 2. No score after 2. More by bundling home and car insurance. And by Indeed, upload your resume today. 1988 World Series champions 32 years ago. Today, they finished their victory against the A's. And 32 years ago, that sweater by Oral was high fashion.
I'm going to tell you something. This would be the guy's name in the lineup card that would scare me if I was Kershaw.
What?
Let me tell you why.
I'm not saying because of Zunino. I just don't know you to be scared of anything, anybody.
Well, when you see the numbers for Zunino, he's a power guy, but he's really struggled. Swing and miss guy when he put 26% in play. And so if you make pitches like that, you're okay. But the reason I say it's a wild card, he's up there swinging to try to do one thing. And if he connects, they want defense out of him. They're expecting very little offense. And they got it a couple times in the postseason already with some homers.
He's hit 4, driven in 8. He's been terrific for the Rays. And now he strikes out. That is strikeout number 3. John, I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
As we go back to the top of the order, and Yandy Diaz. Clayton Kershaw with his 3 strikeouts now. has 196 career postseason strikeouts. Four more to pass you.
Boom. Couldn't get one more to get 200. Wasn't 200 better than 199?
Yeah, I agree. One out, nobody on. Here's Diaz, and Austin Barnes saves Laz Diaz a bruise. Ball one. The all-time leader, Justin Verlander, just ahead of you with 206, 205. Take 206 to be number one all-time, and Kershaw is climbing the list. Left side. Diaz, who singled through the right side his first time, is out number 2 here in the third, and that's now 7 straight retired by Kershaw.
With the 3 lefties in the lineup, those are points where Kershaw, you look at your lineup card when you get it as a pitcher, and you look at places you want to go to if you get out of trouble. And you circle certain guys, and then you circle a guy that says he won't beat me. Well, the number 3 hole hitter is one that you circle, say he can't beat me. But you should have the advantage against the left-handers the Rays have put in their lineup.
Left-handed hitting Brandon Loud ticks that into the glove of Barnes. Strike one. Former All-Star is Lau, and a tremendous hitter. His manager just thinks he's pressing.
Yeah, you don't want to go through the rough stretch. Every hitter goes through a rough stretch. Some are a lot less than others. But this happens to be the postseason rough stretch instead of the middle of the season. When you only play 60 games in the regular season, you can account for a rough stretch with a great month.
Oh, no. He checked it. Barnes tried to sell it. 14 home runs this year for Lau. 17 in 2019. Here's the check. Looks like that slider is coming around here.
It's coming around.
Kershaw. 1-2 pitch. Another strikeout, 4 on the night. 197 in the postseason career of Clayton Kershaw. Mookie Betts due up second for the Dodgers. Bottom of the third, game 1, no score. By Chevrolet, introducing the all-new Chevy Suburban and Tahoe. And by IBM, let's put smart to work. Clap or cheer for the Rays and Dodgers during the World Series from home. Let your excitement be heard with MLB's Cheer at the Ballpark. Visit MLB.com/cheer to join in. Glasnow deals 97 for strike 1 to Austin Barnes. 4 pitches at 100 or better for Glasnow over the first 2 innings. 27 this postseason. Add another.
Well, he's now getting his rhythm when he wants to be kind of like he wants his feet and body to act as if they're dancing in rhythm. To be in rhythm at that tall, pitch out of the stretch and have those long arms, when it goes downhill, the ball explodes. And you really do want to have the rhythm of your feet underneath you. It's so important. The rubber obviously is where you've got your foot connected to, and so there's not really a push off per se. There's just a balance on the inside part of your knee, and then when you hit the front leg landing, let it go.
The other way and foul. Glasnow is one of the many big leaguers to have played at Hart High School. He's from Newhall, California, part of Santa Clarita. Long list. There's a strike, and that is now 3 strikeouts over the last 4 outs picked up by Glasnow.
Ball pops out right there. The hitter freezes for a second. He's done. He's got to get ready for 99 to 100. And when he's throwing his curveball for a strike, he is doubly tough. He really only has 2 pitches. And you'd say, well, do you need more than that when you throw 100? Well, Teppet, he'll get better when he gets his 3rd pitch, believe it or not, because he's not always going to hit with his breaking balls. But tonight, he's in a nice rhythm right now.
1 out, nobody on, and a foul straight back by Betts.
where he'll make a living, Glasnow, against big swings that want to lift the ball. So if he can power the ball in the zone, the bigger swing's going to be no good. Short, compact swings like Mookie Betts, who gets the ball out in front and uses his hands, those are the problems.
One ball, one strike. He can light up a radar gun, there's no doubt about that, but he's not just bringing velocity. Check swing. Talked about Hart High School in Newhall, California, public school 30 miles northwest of LA. Since 2016, he and other Hart alums, Trevor Bauer, Mike Montgomery, Matt Valleca, have been in the big leagues together. 10 other players have made it to the majors from Hart. Todd Edwards-Zeal, Kevin Millar, our very good friend, and Bob Walk. That's outside. Bob, 40 years ago, started and won Game 1, the 1980 World Series for Philly. Factory. Count 2-2. The next to Betts is inside. Another full count.
Well, Betts has the best OPS with 2 strikes. That's on base plus slugging. So he has second best, sorry, in Major League Baseball. And he's shown throughout the postseason he's not afraid to get behind in the count and battle to a 3-2, more neutral count.
Here it comes, and grounded foul. Betts now, Seager on deck. Just pounded by the bat of Betts. Strikeout number 4 for Glasnow.
Well, that's a rarity right there. You don't see Mookie Betts swing and miss too often. That shows you how electric this fastball is from Tyler Glasnow. Mookie Betts had not swung and missed on a pitch in about 16 or so pitches, maybe a little longer, and that 4-seam fastball just beat him on the outside part of the plate. Outstanding velocity, as we've already documented.
Here is Seager. Takes a ball, having one of the best overall postseasons in Major League Baseball history by a shortstop, with a bat in his hands. He scored 13 runs. He's hit 6 home runs. He takes low. 10 extra base hits. 15 RBIs. 36 total bases.
He's tracking the ball.
Hits it down the left field line, slicing foul.
And what that means to a pitcher, it could frustrate a pitcher because you make a really, really good pitch that a lot of hitters would swing at, and he just takes it. And the difference is, of course, when you're going good, you are tracking the ball better. And so you have to make 3 to 4 quality pitches per at bat to Seager.
2-1. Seager takes inside. Second time he's walked. And the batter will be Justin Turner with 2 down.
These two teams mirror each other on the pitching side in the postseason, almost identical, really identical ERA coming into this game. Collectively, they're the same starters and relievers. They both strike out about the same guys. But it's the offense that's the differential. So when you're trying to figure out who matches up well or who has the advantage offensively, the Los Angeles Dodgers have proven that they have more depth and a better offense to this point than the Rays. The Rays have been very opportunistic. And so what the Rays do is they try to take away your greatest strength with a collection of arms. So they'll say, I'll take your offense and I'll go 7 different arms to kind of slow your offense down, and it will work if they're able to just score enough runs, and then they make it a nightmare finishing the game out.
And here's the good news for these two teams that love going to their bullpen and have power arms in their bullpen, as opposed to the LCS. In the rounds before, we're back to a typical setup where you have games 1 and 2, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is off. You can kind of reset 3 in a row, game on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then off on Monday and back at it. So you have a little rest built in. So you have the luxury of using guys differently than in the previous round.
Absolutely. And let me tell you something. The Rays bullpen was almost at empty. They had to go 7 games with the Astros, and they were close to empty. They won that series, and the couple days off really helped.
1 and 2 on Turner. Good block by Zunino. If you want to give a bullpen comparison and start talking about what's happened in this postseason, a lot of work. 60 2/3 innings pitched by Tampa Bay and 55+ for LA. ERA basically the same. Strikeouts, walks basically the same. Turner went around and striking out the side is Glasnow. Here in the third, Turner does not agree, still standing at the plate. Rosarena will lead it off after the strikeout. We go to the 4th inning in game 1, no score. $5,000 for every home run this postseason. T-Mobile is doubling its commitment during the World Series and will now donate $10,000 for every home run hit to cover registration fees for Little Leaguers. To help T-Mobile support kids in your community, text Little League to 313131. Every text means another $5 donated by T-Mobile to support Little League families up to $2 million. Randy Arozarena will lead it off. Drew a walk his first time up, hitting .382 this postseason. MVP of the ALCS takes a strike.
So again, just to recap, the Rays, what they did on the year is they drew walks, hit homers, and struck out. And that is basically the 3 true outcomes.
Too far inside, ball 1.
The one thing they didn't do very well was hit with runners in scoring position, but they will steal bases. So they create havoc in different ways, and they're looking to maximize on the quick run by the home run.
What a good pitch by Kershaw. Strike 2 on Arozarena. Listed at 5'11", 185. And did not come up until the end of August. Hit 7 home runs. Stays alive here.
He's the product of making room for somebody else in St. Louis. Bader and O'Neill, and he got the luxury of being traded, although they got a good arm, and he is showcasing his talent now for the Rays in an incredible way.
Here's a 1-2. Strikeout for out number 1. Ken Rosenthal. I don't want to say that he wasn't the headliner in that trade between the Cardinals and the Rays, but it wasn't talked a lot when it happened in January, and this guy has come out of nowhere.
He has, and I spoke with Cardinals GM John Mozeliak about why he traded Randy Arozarena, and he basically said the Cardinals saw Arozarena, Bader, and O'Neill, the 2 players John mentioned, as sort of comparable. And while the AAA stats might not suggest that, at least his most recent AAA stats, overall they did. And in that trade, the Cardinals did get a top pitching prospect, Matthew Liberatore. He's the number 52 prospect in the game. So they did okay. We don't know about him yet, but right now Arozarena is not making them look good.
Not at all. 0-1 pitch. Another good delivery from Kershaw, who has really settled in. Nothing in 2. Somebody in that Cardinal organization told me Liberatore better be Randy Johnson. One out, nobody on, nothing in 2 on Renfroe, and that just missed.
Trades can be an incredible thing. I sure know about that one.
Yeah, I mean, you're the pitching equivalent of it.
Doyle Alexander.
has just been electric. That is down.
Well, Hunter Renfroe is a power guy. Swing and miss, not an on-base guy, but that's what the Rays got when they traded Tony Pham and Jake Cronenworth to the Padres for him.
Hard hit with a backhand, Seager. That is one confident player, Corey Seager. We've seen him do what few have done at the plate in this postseason, but every ball hit to him, there's just no panic. There's just a calm, easy way about him taking in ground balls.
Yeah, and this surface so far, we've been here the whole time. You've seen not really any bad hops. The infielders look comfortable. They rely on their arm, and the Dodgers, of course, been playing here the whole time. The Rays, this is their first look at this great new stadium here in Arlington.
With 2 out, big swing by Margot. This is a great park. Everybody that's been in it has enjoyed it. It's been a great host to the Division Series, to the LCS, now the World Series. Retractable roof. Home clubhouse is just unbelievable. And the Dodgers have been, well, they've moved in like they own it.
That was going to be the formula. If they were going to get a chance to end that narrative of World Series, they were going to be here a long time.
Third playoff series here for them. They took care of the Padres. 3 and out. They survived a 7-game nail biter of a series against Atlanta, and here we are in game 1 of the World Series. No score in the 4th, 2 out, nobody on.
Dave will let his starter go a little longer than the Rays do typically.
Another strikeout for Kershaw, and he has done exactly what you thought he might after getting out of that 2-on-1 out jam in the first. Settled in. Nobody has reached since. No score after 3.5. Sponsored by T-Mobile, your ticket to the game with America's largest 5G network. And by Allstate, get better protected with Allstate. You've never been in better hands. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Camping World. Now, I was gone for game 7. I'm told the Dodgers won that game. Did anybody hit the tarp out in left field?
No, they didn't. Tarp has been taken.
You and Joe Davis couldn't make that happen.
Could not make it happen. There was some homers in that game, but well above the Camping World top.
Well, tarp's gone. Sorry, folks. Tarp's gone. Moose out front should have told you. That's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. The guy on deck, Will Smith, with that 3-run home run we talked about last time, went 1 row behind it.
Yes, he did.
Muncy, then Smith, and Bellinger against Glasnow. Pitch number 59 is upstairs.
Glasnow's done a great job after the first inning. He gives a little wild with his fastball, but he's hit with his breaking ball, which has allowed the Dodgers to no longer eliminate it. And they got the Dodgers. He has the Dodgers a little bit in between. And you can see this team normally doesn't swing outside the strike zone, but that velocity's got him.
We have seen Max Muncy show extraordinary patience at the plate. He has 15 walks this postseason and drew an important one in front of that 3-run homer by Will Smith in the NLCS. Draws 1 here.
Well, for Tyler Glasnow, the strikeouts are coming in a variety of ways. There's the breaking ball over the top, another breaking ball, and he freezes one on a breaking ball. Then he gets a couple fastballs, which is unlike Mookie, and then a check swing that Turner didn't think. There's how it comes in. And let me tell you something. You got to be on your toes, because this young man, you have so much respect for having to get the barrel started. But again, the shorter, compact swings that will allow his power to work for you hitting.
Oh, 96.
He's losing it.
He's Strike one on Will Smith.
And that's the area as a hitter. You just got to let it go, and you got to hope he doesn't pound away for strikes, because you can't cover that side. There's no way you can get to barrel to 96 to 100 on the outside part of the plate.
First time the Dodgers have put their leadoff man on. 1-1 strike on Smith. Not catching, very good defensive catcher, but with Kershaw on the mound, that job belongs to Austin Barnes. With this great velocity and that good breaking ball, Glass now can settle into a two-pitch pitcher, an occasional changeup. Threw some to Seager. Ended up walking him. He's walked him twice. He's handed out 3 walks to go with 5 strikeouts.
Coming into this game, you rarely see this, but he's right-handers are hitting 200 off of him. Left-handers are hitting 200 off of him. So his pitches play the same no matter which side of the plate the hitter stands on. But he has a decided advantage when he gets to 2 strikes, hitting under 100, and he's ahead in the count, only a little over 100.
Left side, not hard hit. Good pick. Wendell can pick it. Very good defensive third baseman showed it there. He gets the out at first. Down to second is Muncy.
Yeah, a little short hop, and only one player once the ball took that high hop. Looks it into the glove. And now a runner in scoring position for the first time for the Dodgers.
And Cody Bellinger stands in. Grounded out to first. His first time up, they play him to pull infield and outfield. And he pulls one into right center. Back at the track, at the wall. It is gone. Bellinger makes it 2-0 Dodgers here in the 4th of game 1. Here comes the foot tap. I guess the shoulder's okay, John.
Shoulder's okay, but that should be their celebration from now on. I mean, that is a guy who is getting warm at the plate. Had a whole lot of trouble swinging and missing. They were pitching him up and in, tying him up with fastballs. 98 miles an hour, center cut. 108 off the bat.
He's been waiting for a big moment in the World Series. He gets one here in the first inning of first game, rather, 4th inning, and he puts the Dodgers on top 2-0. A walk, a ground out, a home run. And the next pitch bounces well in front of the plate to Chris Taylor.
Tyler had given up 11 home runs going into this game. That's home run number 12.
In at the knees, 1-1 strike. The Dodgers led the big leagues in home runs this year with 118. They led the major leagues in runs. The reigning NL MVP hit 12 during the regular season of the 118 for LA. That is his 4th home run this postseason. He gets one to win Game 7 of the NLCS, and he gets one to score the first 2 runs of the World Series. Taylor, a lot of 3-ball counts on hitters. This one 3-1 on Chris Taylor. full count. Cody Bellinger in the World Series. 7-game set against the Astros in 2017. Hit 143. 1 homer, 5 RBIs. And against the Red Sox in 2018 hit 063. They're the overall numbers in 13 games, but furthest thing from his mind right now is he has put LA on top, and now a walk to Taylor.
All eyes were going to be on his front shoulder, and maybe in a weird way this front shoulder slowed down his swing. Being sore, popping out. It doesn't show anything right now as he absolutely laces this ball over the fence. And for Cody Bellinger, coming off an MVP, he's starting to heat up at the right time for the Dodgers. Started out slow in the postseason, and then he learned his lesson. Not going to jump up and hit elbows and dislodge that shoulder anymore. It's interesting. The Dodgers as a team were the best at hard hit percentage in all of baseball, and they were the best with exit velocity. So those two kind of go hand in hand. But they absolutely slugged at their stadium and slugged on the year. And started out slow in the postseason, hit 1 home run the first series, only 2 games. 1 home run the second series, only 3 games. But they've unloaded since.
A visit from Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach. His 3rd year with Tampa Bay. He's back to the dugout. Nobody is throwing yet for the Rays in their pen, but they are starting to move around. Jock Peterson now. Struck out his first time, 1 of 5 strikeouts for Glasnow.
Coming in, it was a small sample size. I mean, these two pitchers have really not faced the other team hitters, with the exception of a couple guys like that were in the American League, like Mookie Betts. Bellinger was 2 for 3, now 3 for 4 with 3 homers.
Second time through this lineup, so if you're a hitter, John, and the Rays and Dodgers didn't meet during the regular season, you have limited experience against the guy on the mound, the initial advantage should go to the pitcher.
It does, yeah, it does. And you want to see the ball coming out of the hand. That's what a hitter always tell you. You can either see it real good or you can't, and then you got to try to pick something out and not miss it. That's the hard part against a guy who throws hard. Every hitter will tell you, for the most part, they look in one area and let the bat go, and if the ball is a curveball or a fastball in that area, they have success. But if you can get a hitter to chase outside the strike zone, they have no chance against Tyler Glasnow.
1-0 to Peterson is in for a strike.
Peterson's one of those guys who just kind of, he'd be equivalent to a long drive champion. Like, he can hit it all over the place, but accuracy's not going to be his forte. That's the way he is as a hitter. He just hunts fastball. He can spray it. He'll swing and miss a lot. He'll look like he's totally off balance, but he will not miss velocity if you throw it in his area.
He goes around. Throw down to second is too late. Stolen base by Taylor as the count goes to 1-2 on the hitter Peterson.
I'm going to tell you something. Glasnow almost got hit. He was not anticipating the throw back to the mound. Watch this. He stands at about 6'8". He's standing up, and here comes the throw, and he doesn't see it till the last minute. And then he tells his catcher, my bad, because the catcher had to throw around that.
And with that, Chris Taylor is still on the first base of the 2020 World Series. All of America wins free Doritos Locos Tacos. Stop by Taco Bell on October 28th to snag yours. Thank Chris Taylor when you're there.
Do I qualify for that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where it's skies.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
Hey, they changed it back to a wild pitch.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, but I didn't want to spoil the everybody getting excited about the taco.
So they go stolen base, no wild pitch, no America. Here he's trying to do it here.
He had it.
He had it. He had a great jump, but with 2 strikes, Peterson can't let Taylor just take third. So we have to hold on the free Doritos Locos Tacos. Look at this jump.
He timed the look. Every pitcher every once in a while gets into a pattern. Look back, look home, 1,001, 1,002, go. That's why you have to kind of have a change to your variance or to your timing to prevent this runner to get a good jump.
So no steal. It's a wild pitch. No free tacos yet, and now a 1-2 count. Instead, a spin but no throw back towards second.
Part of the reason Taylor can go is how far Wendell's playing off third. He's got to play off that base because of the shift for Peterson. So that's a hard target to hit, and he's looking at the runner and the hitter and the pitcher at the same time.
Good block by Zunino. Two and two.
Zunino just does a great job right there. Like a hockey goalie, you want it to drop straight in front of him as much as he can. Don't want it to go side to side. The target of which he puts up as well is trying to entice Tyler to throw the ball and release it a little higher on his breaking ball.
Here is a 2-2 and double hit.
And there's a perfect example. When you've spiked a couple breaking balls, the catcher will give you a higher target to get you to release it higher, so therefore the break is better intended at home plate.
What is the double hit known as in golf?
It's no longer a penalty shot.
You are right. I was going to check and see if you were up on your USGA rule changes.
No longer.
Runner at second with one out, and that is foul as Peterson got out in front of it.
The thing to watch in this park, see that foul ball that was just hit? There will be some fair balls that are hit, and it'll hook and hit that fencing and have weird kicks. You'll see doubles and triples because the right fielder, if the second baseman and first baseman are not active, will have a hard time getting to that ball.
And we saw that during the NLCS. A strikeout as Peterson chased it upstairs, and strikeout number 6. Out number 2. And the number 9 hitter Austin Barnes walks in. Big Ten football returns Saturday. Justin Fields and the 5th-ranked Buckeyes take on Nebraska. It all starts with a special big noon kickoff show live from the Shoe. Only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Glass now steps off. Barnes struck out his first time. Second strikeout of Peterson a moment ago. RBI chance here. That's out of play.
You could say Barnes is the caddy for.
They don't like that.
I know, but it's a personal caddy.
They don't like that. I worked with one for 18 years. My buddy Timmy Mack, he didn't like that. He was there for Steve Carlton. No, sir.
Don't mention
Don't do that.
Well, then he gives Will Smith a day off every 5 days.
Okay. That's a better way to say it. More politically correct. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's nothing wrong with having a guy you like to throw to, right?
Nothing wrong with it at all.
One pitch. That is down the line and right, slicing and out of the reach of a charging Hunter Renfroe.
How about having a 9-year-old take a picture with you in your home clubhouse and then have that 9-year-old later become your catcher in a postseason game? Brian McCann broke him in, got a chance to be with him, and of course he just recently retired. So it's a lot of fun when you connect with a catcher, and I'm sure Kershaw feels the same way with Barnesy. He says when he's out there, I don't want to have to be shaking my head. He knows what I do. He does his homework, and we're in sync.
1-2 the count, and a ball in the dirt. At some point, though, when you've got the great defensive catcher, and then you've got a catcher who may not be as good defensively, but
offensively,
he can pound home runs and drive in runs, and you don't have a DH situation, then you got to make a choice.
Yes, you do. And if it's up to me, I'm taking the offensive
Really?
catcher. Yeah.
You can handle the other stuff.
Yeah.
Runner at second with 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Austin Barnes. That is right down the middle at 99. Strikeout number 7, but damage is done. In the 4th, a 2-run shot by Cody Bellinger. Stay tuned for the 5th inning giveaway from T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. Enjoy every World Series moment with the MLB app. It's the one place to get all of your Rays and Dodgers action, including video highlights, pitch tracking, and much more. Download the MLB app today for the World Series in your pocket. Strike 1 is into Joey Wendell, who flied out to left his first time. Former member of the A's organization.
And a member of the No Batting Gloves fraternity. Not many of them.
Boy, that is a small group.
It is.
Good defensive player, and for the year hit .286 with 4 home runs. Fouls it away, strike 2, as Kershaw has retired 11 in a row after the walk to Arozarena back in the 1st.
Yeah, he made an adjustments on his breaking balls, and he has been much better in the zone with him. He could throw a breaking ball. He could throw a curveball right now if he wanted to Wendell after throwing that slider.
Goes with the heat, waits, flips, 1 down.
Well, if you're trying to figure out how you hit a guy like Clayton Kershaw, check this out. There's the fastball straight over the top. He'll command it most of the time in the inside part of the plate, which sets up the slider that looks like the fastball. And then here comes this popping, slow breaking ball. And it's really cool when you see the fastball and slider are on the same plane, but then the curveball, look at that thing. Change of speed, change of eye level. And he has been known for that pitch for his whole career.
Looked like Barnes was only going to catch one of them.
Well, he has such great glove side command, and that's that side of the plate that his glove's on. And so by setting that up, facing majority right-handers over his career, he can throw that slider at that back foot. But see, that's the pitch right there that he can throw for a strike anytime he wants. So it's like a free strike because the hitter cannot watch it pop out of his hand, see it for a ball. That thing looks like a ball the whole way. Ball, 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 ball. And then all of a sudden, last minute, it drops in and it's too late. You can't pull the trigger.
He is just in a groove. 7 strikeouts. Uh-oh. He passed you, John.
There it is.
And here's how he's done it here tonight, as he's got 200 career postseason strikeouts.
Well, we talked to him, and I got a chance to congratulate him before this game. And he's like, really? I passed you? I said, no, we can't see you, so I can't go down there and thank you or congratulate you for passing me, and you're going to do it eventually in this World Series. And he did it tonight, and he will go on to be the all-time leader, I'm sure, before this series is done.
That was nice of you.
I felt like I felt bad thinking, you know, certainly he's not going to be one of those guys that thinks about it as in a jinx way, but we can't go and be with the players or the coaches.
It is odd. Here's a shot into right, back at the wall. It is gone off the bat of Kiermaier. Gliding around the bases as he has broken up that string of 13 straight and cut the Dodger lead in half here in the 5th.
And that's what the Rays do. That's how they play, and they're not enamored with whoever's on the mound, and no matter how many strikeouts they have already had, they use their power, and most of it's solo home runs. And then they use their power in their bullpen. The slider in the flat part of the plate.
He's a great story, beloved on this team, kind of the heart and soul. Definitely in the outfield. 31st round pick back in 2010. 2 years after the Rays went to their other World Series, and well, he adds with his bat. So evidently the wrist feeling much better. Line drive out of the park in right, and with 2 out, nobody on in a 2-1 game. The count to Zunino. Swung on and missed, and it goes to 2-1. Struck out his first time. This Rays team came into this game scoring 72% of their runs via the home run ball. Through the first 3 rounds of the postseason, they add to it. That's the most ever. There's a strike, and the count evens 2-2.
And they just do things opposite of what the Dodgers are good for. The Dodgers are good off of fastballs as a team. The Rays, they're better off of non-fastballs.
Zunino strikes out, 8 strikeouts in the ballgame, but the first run of the night for Tampa Bay. Kiermaier with the Rays' 26th home run of this postseason. 2-1 ball game. Halfway through game 1. Two center fielders tonight have gone deep. Kiermaier and Bellinger. Bellinger's a 2-run shot. That happened in the bottom of the 4th. Kiermaier just made it 2-1.
Be careful on this first pitch. 3rd time through. He made a good pitch. Mookie Betts will work the count early, but then he'll pick it at bat where he'll go up there determined to try to do damage on the first pitch.
Under 300 now this postseason. And this is 1 ball, 1 strike. Betts, then Seager, then Turner. Kershaw has struck out 8. Glasnow has struck out 7. 1-1 pitch. Glasnow 27, Kershaw 32 years old. Two-1 delivery from the big right-hander is down, back to the backstop, and the count 3-1. There's been a lot of 3-ball, 1-strike counts tonight.
Yeah, and I'll give Tyler some credit. He's come back in these counts and really made some good pitches. They pretty much only let their starters like Glasnow go about 5 innings. This is very well could be his last inning.
That is a leadoff walk, 2nd straight inning that Glasnow has done that. Walk number 5 in the ballgame. Answer 6 questions about tonight's matchup between the Rays and the Dodgers, and you can win $25,000. It's easy, free to play, so download the Fox Bet Super 6 app. There will be chances to win throughout the World Series. Yarbrough, the left-hander, is cranking it up. Seager waited on that pitch and chops it foul toward his dugout. Strike 1.
All right, there will be a taco given away this inning.
Okay. You think it's Mookie against Glasnow?
I do. And if nothing else, he's going to give Seager a better chance to hit with all the attention paid to Mookie at first.
Seager checks it. Betts stole 10 bases during the regular season, caught twice, 2 for 2 in the postseason. There he goes. No throw. That is a stolen base. And now, again, And this time officially, Mookie Betts has stolen the first base of the 2020 World Series. With that stolen base, like he did back in 2018, all of America wins free Doritos Locos Tacos. Stop by Taco Bell on October 28th to snag yours. Then he was a Red Sox outfielder. Now he is a Dodger right fielder. And after being traded by Boston, he signed a 12-year contract to stay a Dodger for the rest of his career.
So I get a taco, you get a taco. How we have 24 hours? What is the
October? You don't listen to it.
No, I didn't. Okay.
It's next Wednesday. Put it on your calendar.
So it's on that day.
Yes.
Okay.
Here is a 2-2 pitch. Seager, if nothing else, trying to advance a runner Betts, but he grounds it foul.
So if there's a game 7, I'll have them ready for me and you.
And you'll pay nothing.
Well, yeah, but I'll get
Come back swinging.
Runner at second, and Seager with a good swing and a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. The count stays 2-2.
And then you're going to make what's your harder?
I think they're talking about the tacos right now at second base.
Adames and Betts.
Yeah.
Here is a 2-2 pitch, and another good block by Zunino. Boy, he is good back there.
Yeah, he is. And I'll tell you what, Mookie Betts is getting a lead that is getting real close to stealing third base as well. This breaking ball in the dirt. They're going to try and hold him on as best they can with the third baseman way across his position.
Seager takes a walk. Action for the Dodgers here in the 5th inning. Back-to-back walks. And the right-handed hitting Justin Turner is coming up. Lefty Muncy on deck. And Yarbrough getting ready for the Rays in their pen. And again, a visit from the pitching coach, Kyle Snyder. So a walk, a steal, a walk, a visit, and Justin Turner, who is #1 on the Dodger list for postseason RBIs and hits and just about everything. Very close to being at the top of the list in home runs as well. Digs in. Struck out on a check swing. His last time up, he's 0 for 2.
And with runners in scoring position, he's not afraid to go the other way. I know they got the shift on him.
Here is that big lead. It was extended, and Glasnow almost picked off Mookie Betts.
I guarantee you the pitching coach went out and told him to put that play on, because that's the best time after a pitching coach comes out. And I told you he was getting really aggressive, and right there he was in between. And luckily, looks like he got back just in the nick of time.
Boy, I tell you, if Glasnow throws right away, just a little bit of a pause. Turner leans back from 96.
Turner doesn't have to go too far back to realize that he had a fastball off the helmet from Tyler Glasnow, I believe, when he was with the Pirates. The fastball got away and hit him in the head. That one probably jarred the memory bank.
Here's the next, and a foul backing out of play.
Got very little time.
"39 postseason RBIs for Turner with the Dodgers, and this time Betts does not have that secondary lead. Does not draw a throw.
I got a chance to ask Turner about his leg kick, and he said it's a timing mechanism, and his leg kick will change from time to time, pitch to pitch. And what he wants to do is obviously get his leg up and then get it down at the right time to carry his hands through the plate. And when you're talking about 100 miles an hour, it's an interesting dynamic that has worked for him and made him the prolific hitter he's been for the Dodgers in this run.
Set up here in 1 and 2. Glasnow has struck out 7. There goes Betts. Double steal. Throw down is too late. On the strikeout at the plate of Turner, a double steal, and that's the second successful double steal that the Dodgers have executed this postseason. And it's second and third with only 1 out.
Well, that is just like getting him over. Even though he struck out, they're now in scoring position and put pressure on the Rays defense. Have to play it in here in a 2-1 game. And that makes Muncy a much better hitter with the infield in.
Glasnow trying to get around 2 walks, 3 steals, another good block by Zunino, who's a big guy, 6'2", 235. But he moves around really well.
He does. And this will be the shallowest infield drawn in that you can see any defense employ. The reason being because Betts is so fast and his reaction time is really good if they have the contact play on. But that is for a guy who can hit the ball well over 100 miles an hour. You talk about reaction time at the plate. Well, you don't have much reaction time in the field.
For anybody who thinks the Dodgers, who are playing in their 3rd World Series over the last 4 years, just outspend everybody, that's not the case. They scout well, they develop well, they find fringe players, and this is one of them. Max Muncy, who was released by the A's. Now he's their cleanup hitter. He grounds to first. Throw home, and not in time. Around the tag is Betts.
Good time.
Great base running by Mookie Betts, and it's 3-1 Dodgers here in the 5th inning. Fielder's choice off the bat of Muncy in the RBI.
And this is what the Dodgers speed can do, and this is what Mookie Betts. Watch the secondary lead, and then he goes. And this throw off balance, actually a really good throw, but it was the best throw he could make under the circumstances. He didn't have a chance to read where Mookie Betts was when he made this throw. But it's only because of Mookie Betts and his reaction to the ball off the bat that run was able to score.
And it just further points out that Betts, even if he's not hitting, has made the biggest difference with his glove this postseason, and now his base running leads directly to a run here in the 5th, and the 2-run lead for the Dodgers is right back.
Now the problem with the infield in is it almost forces you to think you have to go to home, and that's how bigger innings can happen. If you don't get the out right here, that's an excellent read and speed to the plate. Then a big inning opens up possibly for the Rays.
Another great block by Zunino, putting on a clinic as Will Smith showed bunt. Pulled it back from ball 1. Tom?
I was a little surprised that Joey Wendell didn't shake Mookie back to third as he did the previous pitch. That allowed Mookie to get a larger lead with Wendell being away from the bag, especially with the left-handed hitter up. One step made all the difference.
Here's a 1-0 pitch now after showing bunt. Smith takes a strike. On deck, the left-handed hitting Bellinger. At the plate, the righty Will Smith, the DH tonight.
Smith, in the same situation against the Braves, went to the wide open second base side of the field, right side. Got a big base hit and a run scored, and it was like as if he had done it his whole career. He only hits 25% of the balls in play on the ground. That's why earlier you saw the 4 outfielders. That's because they're playing the percentages.
A little tight. 2 balls and a strike. Yandy Diaz did all he could, ranging to his right while playing in, could not deliver a strike. On the fielder's choice by Muncy. That's his 9th RBI of this postseason. 2-1 pitch. In at 98. Nothing wrong with the velocity or pitching stuff of Glasnow, and it's 2-2.
No, that would have been the pitch. If he had the mindset to stay inside the ball and go to right field, that would have been the pitch to do it on. With the infield the way it is, it's an interesting double play based on the angles that you would have to turn a ground ball where the second baseman is and where he normally is when he turns a double play.
Full count. Right-hander Curtis joins Yarbrough, with Bellinger coming up. Our time tonight with Tyler Glasnow may be coming to an end. Runner goes, and a shot into left center field for a base hit. In to score is Seager. Going first to third is Muncy, and the Dodgers open up a 4-1 lead, and they just keep on turning the crank. What a good at bat by young Will Smith. And a big 5th inning. A 3-run lead, a chance for more, and they have knocked out Tyler Glasnow. A career high in pitches for Glasnow, 112. And his last of the night is hit into the outfield by Smith. Mookie Betts is doing it all. Doing it with his glove, doing it with his legs. 2 steals in the inning for Betts. And then came home ahead of the throw by Diaz. Dodgers have added another, lead by 3, have a chance for more. Here in the 5th, they'll take him any way they can get him, leading 4-1. Glasnow is finished, leaves with runners at the corners and only 1 down.
That's good right
Cody
there.
Bellinger will deal with the left-hander. Yarbrough brings it. Ryan misses with it, up and away, ball 1. How about this note? Last time a team stole 3 bases in an inning in the World Series, which is what the Dodgers have done, was 1912. The World Series Game 6. New York Giants stole 3 against the Red Sox in the first inning.
Well, that speed has opened up the potential for a really big inning already. Played in 2.
Chance for more. Only 1 out. Yarbrough to Bellinger, who homered his last time up. Jammed there. A ball and 2 strikes. The home run is 4th of this postseason. Runners at first and third, and Yarbrough steps off. It is a deep, it is a very versatile bullpen for the Tampa Bay Rays. Kevin Cash has to go to it for the first time here in the 5th inning of Game 1. 1-2 pitch off the end of the bat, now to play. Let's go back to Mookie Betts coming down the line and scoring on the fielder's choice.
Well, this is a display on getting that secondary lead and then taking off. What you're going to find when we show you a different angle, he really only had to cover about 62, 63 feet. That lead and that throw allowed his speed to beat. But think about the distance he covered. It wasn't 90. It was about 62 to 63 because of his lead and reaction time. That reaction time, of course, unique to Mookie Betts. And I wouldn't say that there were too many players who could be at third base that would have scored on that play.
Our StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Bellinger waits. Yarbrough looks at the runner Smith at first, and a pitch inside. 2-2. Yarbrough this year went 1-4. A starter primarily, ERA 3.5. Made 9 starts, 2 times out of the pen during the regular season. Two-two pitch is down and in. Full count.
Well, Yarbrough will pitch with deception. He will use his cutter, his changeup, and sinker almost about the same in usage of percentage, and then he'll throw in that curveball. But he's got a funky release point.
Another foul by Bellinger. There you go. He's won an MVP. Did that with the Red Sox. He's won a World Series. Did that with the Red Sox. He's won free tacos for all. Once with the Red Sox, once with the Dodgers.
I thought we were adding.
No, that's in the past.
So you only get one taco, no matter how many stolen bases there are.
2 years ago.
Okay. Glad we clarified that.
On a cold night at Fenway. Here comes a 3-2. Another foul by Bellinger. Yarbrough came to the Rays in a deal that sent Drew Smyly to Seattle. Gave up the veteran, got the young pitcher. 16-game winner 2 years ago. 11 last year. And in the shortened season this year, 1-4. With a good ERA. Off the end of the bat.
Good news, bad news for Kershaw. Good news is the team has added on, scored 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Bad news is this has taken a long time and can get you out of the rhythm that he was in. He's trying to pace and keep his arm and body loose, but 23 minutes so far, and that typically, if you're going to wait 30 minutes, you hope your team scores at least 6.
Another 3-2 pitch. And a pop-up on the infield. Big out by Yarbrough. Wendell hauls it in. 2 down. And the batter will be Chris Taylor. Yarbrough missed time on the IL for groin tightness. And John, this was a Tampa Bay team that had 15 players, 11 pitchers on the injured list. 3 from their season opening rotation, 4 starting position players, and yet with all those injuries from August 9th through September 1st, they had 13 on the IL. They won a Major League Best 18-4.
Yeah, it's incredible to their organization and how they prepare their young players to come up and fit in right away.
Yarbrough trying to keep it a 3-run game, and he cannot. Base hit by Taylor. Muncy scores, and it's 5-1 here in the 5th inning of Game 1. Taylor, a big night.
Like a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Taylor has the same swing no matter what the pitch is, and just over. And another 2-out runs scored for the Dodgers. They've dominated the postseason with 2 outs. No inning is the only way you get them is a clean inning, because if you allow them the opportunity to get something going with 2 outs, they will.
So Kike Hernandez will come off the bench, bat in the 5th, and then take over defensively, likely at second. That'll move Taylor out to left. A lot of moving parts for the Dodgers, a lot of versatile players who can play all over the place. Hernandez with a huge swing in Game 7. He hit a pinch hit home run. Became the first player going deep for a tying or a go-ahead run in a winner-take-all postseason game. Tied the ball game 3-3 in the 6th. A home run by Bellinger made it 4-3 in the 7th, and that's how it ended, thanks to brilliant pitching from Urias. That is down. The count 2-0 on Hernandez. Peterson 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts while he was in there. Hard hit, left side base hit. Here comes Smith. Here's the throw, not in time, another run. And a pinch hit RBI single for Kike Hernandez. He's made it 6-1 here in the 5th. Dave Roberts pulling all the right strings here tonight.
Kike's been amazing. He didn't have a great average on the year, but in the postseason, he has the flair for the dramatic. Not easy to come off the bench.
That closes the book on Glasnow. 4 1/3, 6 runs on 3 hits. This one runs inside on Austin Barnes from Yarbrough. 9th man to bat in the inning. 8 strikeouts for Glasnow, 6 walks. And that was his undoing, especially here in the 5th as he walked the first 2. Ryan Yarbrough with 2 on. Barnes shoots it foul.
Well, in Game 3, the Dodgers scored 11 runs in the first inning, but they did it with 10 2-out runs in the first inning, put that game away. Huge 2-out runs throughout that series, and they have picked up where they left off. A lot of walks they'll draw. There's the 2-out runs this postseason for each team.
Dodgers muscled up with a home run in the 4th, and they have been impressive at the plate and on the bases here in the 5th. Ken Rosenthal give us more on the home run by Kike.
Well, John mentioned Kike's flair for the dramatic. He's a potential free agent, and he told me before the game he was thinking in that at-bat, this could be my last at-bat as a Dodger. I'm going to leave my mark.
Well, he did. He tied the ball game. And here the Dodgers are leading in Game 1 of the World Series. That's in at the knees. Strike 2 on Austin Barnes.
But to me, the Dodgers are just like a football team that tries to impose their will in the beginning of the game. They're going to run it right up the gut, and they're going to make the other team try and stop them because it's relentless. And the relentless approach in baseball would be they take their walks. It doesn't seem really sexy when you're taking walks, but it adds up and passes the baton to the next guy and adds the stress to the pitcher. And that's been what they've done. That's how they came back. I mean, everyone loves the home run, and the home run is definitely the king. But when you can draw walks and get on base, and you can have a separating difference between the two teams, that's what the Dodgers do. And they hit with runners in scoring position. And a lot of people felt like this matchup would be very interesting if Kevin Cash could get his team to somehow get the lead early. Then all that stuff I just said could go right out the window by the 6th inning because of what they can bring out of the pen.
High fly ball into left. Coming to get it, Margot. Well, a big inning for the Dodgers. They knock out the starter Tyler Glasnow. And the infectious smile of Mookie Betts, his legs helping. 6-1 ball game. 6 runs over the last 2 innings for the Dodgers. Don't forget the job Kershaw's doing on the mound. He's allowed 1 run on 2 hits, struck out 8, walked 1. Only 1 is reached. That was Kiermaier last inning. And that was on the home run. That bends right in for a strike. Top of the order. Yandy Diaz first up. He's 1 for 2. Then Lau. Then Arozarena. Hernandez is at second. That moves Chris Taylor out to left. And the Dodgers are better off defensively. 0-2 pitch. He's in the dirt.
Well, the KG veteran in Kershaw knows how important the first batter is after a long layoff. He went out there and got all the throws he could. That was 36 minutes between pitches once it's all said and done. So you really want to go out and you don't want to show any ill effects to your manager. And that's why I always felt that getting that first hitter out just settles the nerves after a long time off.
When we talked to Dave Roberts about the mood of the clubhouse, he said, you know, typically after an LCS or a postseason series, you have a little bit of a break and then you pick up with the next series. But they clinched 2 nights ago. And so they carried momentum in. Now, it was just 3 nights ago that Tampa Bay clinched. Here's a pick. Turner from his knees. What a play. Wow, from Justin Turner, 1 out in the 6th inning.
Even Turner's sitting there going, wow, this ball, great hop, but then he gets up and throws from his knees. I thought he might even throw a 1-hopper, but he got it in the air. Don't think Seager would have been able to throw out. Clayton was like, yeah, baby. Got him easy.
2 vets. What a play by Justin Turner. 1 out. Here's Lau, and there is strike 1. Just to finish the point, coming into this game, I think it was Kenny asked Dave Roberts about his bullpen. There's a list of guys that it's either they're off tonight or they're off tomorrow night. These innings now are important for Kershaw with the short layoff after the NLCS to take the load off the bullpen. And then you're loaded up for game 2.
Yeah, because here's what the Dodgers did. I know a game 7 is a all hands on deck, right? I get it.
Lau pops one up right side. Foul ball. Muncy has room and has outnumbered 2.
But what they did is essentially threw 3 starters in the game 7. So to his point, you know, we don't know what game 2 is going to bring, because depending on this game, which looks like it's going in the direction where you can go traditional pen and stay away from a Dustin May, a Gonsolin, or Urias is definitely going to be off for tonight. But that was the issue of how the Dodgers got it done. So it presented a game 2 problem, not a game 3 problem.
Here's one chopped by Arozarena just into the game. Hernandez, and after that long layoff of over half an hour, thanks in large part to the defensive play by Justin Turner, a 1-2-3 6th for the 32-year-old lefty. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Camping World. Bottom of the 6th inning, Dodgers bat. Josh Fleming, 3rd pitcher of the ball game. Back-to-back lefties out of the pen. Great numbers. 7 games in the regular season, 5-0. ERA of 2.78. And he is greeted by Betts. A shot into right, back at the wall, and is gone. 1 pitch, 1 more run, and the first Dodger postseason home run for Mookie Betts. 7-1.
Well, there's that first pitch swing I was talking about. He tried to do it now in the 4th at bat, and the ball does carry to right field here. And he hit a fly ball that, for the most part, early in this postseason was an out. This one kept going.
Mookie Betts has shown off all 5 tools that he possesses in this postseason. Jam shot, pop up, left side, Wendell. Seager retired.
Well, in case you're wondering if that was a home run in Dodger Stadium, the answer is yes. That would have been a home run in Dodger Stadium.
Renfroe out of room.
Love the effort. Love the effort.
Turner takes a strike. Yeah, you weren't. I'm sure you were not a big fan of somebody just went bomb on you. The outfielder barely turning around.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like Mammoth, triple deck, double deck, I'm cool with it. You know, I gave it up, but I like the effort.
Make it look better.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike on the number 3 hitter Turner. He hits one in the air into right center field. Back is Kiermaier, and that's off the top of the wall. Turner is going to cruise into second with a 1-out double, and from here it looked like that didn't miss leaving by much.
Yeah, I think it hit the yellow top of the fence. And again, this is where you want it. The ball is, it's tough to get it out to right center where the bullpen is, and Turner gave it a ride. There's that foot down, and see how balanced he is. He thinks he might have got it right there. Hands get ready, and then he releases. And this ball was carrying, hit the very top. That padding.
One out, Muncy at the plate. He hits a rocket into right center field. That will not be caught. Short hops the wall. Turner cruises to the plate. It's an RBI double for Muncy, and the Dodgers carousel keeps on turning. Eight to 1 LA here in the 6th inning. And these Dodgers aren't waiting around long at the plate either.
That bat stays in the zone a long time for Max Muncy. Again, not a year he's super thrilled about, but it could end super thrilling. He just did not get a lot of the results, average-wise, hits-wise, during the season.
That rides inside for a ball from Fleming to Will Smith. August 23rd, Fleming came from the alternate training site. We showed you those numbers, went 5-0. 5 starts, 7 total games, so 2 times out of the pen, and the beneficiary of all of this production is big number 22.
And that looks like they're giving some congratulatories to Clayton.
Here's one into center off the bat of Smith. Back is Kiermaier. Tagging, going to third is Muncy. And he's there with 2 out. Smith 1 for 4 with an RBI single. It brings in Bellinger.
See, I think I'd like to see that as a sack fly, moving the guy over. Put the lead 8-1. They'll preserve his performance and go to the bullpen.
Well, the bullpen just got up. It's Dylan Floro, and he was thrown about 4 pitches down there. Trying to get ready as fast as he can now. From the Ray. Floro. And the ball gets out of the bullpen. Kiermaier has to chase it down. And make somebody in this nice-sized crowd in Arlington happy. And a Dodger fan.
I used to panic at Wrigley Field, San Francisco. The bullpens were just outside of foul territory, and I can't tell you how many times they'd have to call time because the ball got by the catcher. I didn't like it. Get me in a bullpen. Get me secure.
There is strike 3. And that's the end of the inning, but 2 more on the board. 2 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. The catalyst for the Dodgers, leading off the inning with a home run to right. 8-1 after 6. Back after this from your local Fox station. Authentic caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your Rays and Dodgers gear and cheer on your team at home with the official source, MLBshop.com. Dylan Floro takes over. Showed Mookie Betts coming back from break. Marcus Lynn Betts, first year after the big trade from the Boston Red Sox. He's been a leader in that clubhouse since the moment he got there. And in that leadoff spot for the Dodgers, he's been all over the place tonight, all postseason. And he now has his first Dodgers postseason home run after hitting 16 during the regular season. 1-0 pitch. Austin Meadows at the plate, pinch hitting for Hunter Renfroe, and the count 1 ball 1 strike.
And Meadows has really struggled this year. Not the year he intended. You see the 114, 12 strikeouts.
Fouled away, strike 2. Meadows was the other main player in the deal that was consummated between the Pirates and the Rays, a trading deadline 2018. Tyler Glasnow and Meadows, along with a third player, right-hander Shane Baz, in exchange for Chris Archer. And Meadows, as he is trying to stay up there and stay alive, he's a guy who hit 33 home runs last year, 89 RBIs.
Yeah, this year may be one of those where you fall in the category of structure change, just didn't get in a nice flow, and used to creature of habit. Who knows, but certainly those 33 home runs. And what Tyler Glasnow can do is not making that trade look really good for the other side.
That is down, and a full count from Floro.
Floro sinking action on that two-seam fastball. When he's right, he'll get some ground balls.
Here's the next on 3-2, and Meadows chops it foul. 36 games on the regular season for Austin. Started the year on the COVID-19 related injury list. Reinstated the first week of August. Had a left oblique strain, so it's just one of those years that Meadows will want to forget. Unless something big happens in this World Series. A strikeout on a 3-2 pitch starts the 7th. But he's a good player. With 1 down, the batter will be Margot. The numbers for Clayton Kershaw: 78 pitches. That's it. 6 innings, 2 hits. 1 of them left the park off the bat of Kiermaier. But after issuing a 2-out walk or a 1-out walk back in the first inning, the only man to reach against Kershaw was the home run by Kiermaier.
Yeah, you know, he's good at hiding body language. Sometimes a veteran knows how to hide it. But I thought after the first inning, just seeing the way he was throwing his pitches, maybe a little just tight, trying to be too fine, and the break wasn't there. But then when he came out.
Here's a ground ball up the middle, base hit. off the bat of Margot, and he's on with one out here in the 7th.
When he came out unscathed in the first inning, you just saw a little sense of relief. Here we go. Let's go back to pitching. And he never missed too many spots after that. And that's the mark of obviously a great pitcher. When you're a little off, you don't give up a run, you cruise after that.
Tom Verducci.
Well, Joe, that was swing and miss stuff in the postseason from Clayton Kershaw, unlike things we really haven't seen before. And this is a guy who had declining velocity on his fastball for the last 4 years, and on his own accord went to a pitching lab in Washington State, Driveline, to try to find an answer to regain velocity. As he said, it wasn't so much about arm speed, it was in the efficiency of his delivery, especially the trunk and the legs. The stuff was so crisp tonight, he had 19 swings and misses. Now, that's more than he had in his last 3 World Series starts put together. In the postseason career, it's the 4th time he's had 19 swings and misses. 2 of those have happened in this postseason. That includes the first round against Milwaukee.
Yeah, he was so good against Milwaukee as Joey Wendell waits for a 2-0 pitch. Beat him 3-0 in the wild card round when 8 struck out 13. Here's a 2-0 from the 29-year-old right-hander and former Ray, Dylan Floro, with Tampa Bay back in 2016. 2-1.
Well, that's one of the Rays' Achilles heel, is their swing and miss, and that's the one thing that if Clayton and the Dodgers pitchers are able to execute pitches in the area that they want, which he did tonight, you're going to expose this team.
Strikeouts have piled up in the postseason, and they had the most during the regular season across all of baseball. Wendell waits on 3-1. He hits one into left center field. Pretty well hit. Back, and off the glove of Bellinger. Digging for third is Margot, and they're going to hold him there. Bellinger ran a mile, got there, but could not make the catch. And it's a double for Wendell.
Yeah, this was almost an incredible play. This ball carried as well in the gap. And being left-handed, he reaches right before he gets to the wall. And you wonder how much he was obviously aware of that right shoulder, not wanting to crash into the wall, and just off the heel of his glove.
Visit from the pitching coach, Mark Prior, in his first year as the pitching coach. And let's go back and look at how Clayton Kershaw did his thing here tonight.
Had a lot of the sliders, but here's that fastball at 93 miles an hour. And if you're a hitter, see where the green dot is. That's the time frame difference between velocity, and then that curveball really messes you up. So by the time the fastball crosses, you have to wait that much longer on the slider and wait that much longer on the curveball. That is where he gets hitters so confused. Change the speed, change the eye level, and of course, change direction of the ball.
Now Adames is going to be lifted for the pinch hitter as the Rays try to jump back in the ball game. It's going to be Ji-Man Choi. And with that, Dave Roberts is going to come out of the dugout. Mark Prior just visited the pitcher. He just got Victor Gonzalez up. And Roberts, with the announcement of Ji-Man Choi, is going to go back to the pen. So Floro got the strikeout to start the inning. A hit, a double off the glove of Bellinger. Choi is coming up. And Victor Gonzalez, the lefty, is coming in. I'm in real time. Available only on 5G enabled Android devices. Dave Roberts went to the home plate umpire, Laz Diaz, to make sure that Ji-Man Choi was announced. He was. So here is Victor Gonzalez, the lefty, and Choi is lifted for Mike Brasso, who was the hero in the division series with the home run off of Aroldis Chapman in Game 5, the deciding game. He loves the fastball, and he spins out of the way of that one inside ball one.
Yeah, we saw one of the greatest catches in postseason play. That might have been one of the greatest at-bats in postseason play against Chapman. I think it was a 9 or 10 pitch at bat, and you talk about a lifetime memory. That's what Michael will have.
Up on the count here, 2-0. You and I looked down at the bullpen at about the same time. The hit by Margot and then the double by Wendell, and all of a sudden Victor Gonzalez gets up. I mean, he couldn't have thrown more than 6 or 7 pitches out in the pen.
That's about it.
Two 2-0 the count, and now 3-0. Left-handed hitting Kiermaier on deck. Grasso not drafted. Signed as a free agent back in 2016. It's a .284 in the big leagues between last year and this year. The next pitch in for strike one. 3-1.
Something you don't hear anymore. He has a .500 batting average on ground balls. I thought ground balls don't get many hits anymore with the way they play, but he's hitting 13 for 26. Matter of fact, best in baseball.
Grasso waits. Third man to bat in the 7th spot in the order for the Rays, and he pops one up foul, backing out of play, a full count. Once the public address announcer made the announcement that Ji-Man Choi was going to come in and pinch hit, then you could have consecutive mound visits without a pitch being thrown, and that's what Dave Roberts was making sure of before he went out to get the ball from Floro. Runners on belong to the right-hander. The left-hander Gonzalez trying to get an out. There's one down in the inning, and a line drive into right, a base hit. 1 run scores. They will hold the runner Wendell at third, and it's 1st and 3rd. A run in, an 8-2 game, and only 1 out in the 7th.
Took a 3-2 slider that didn't slide and went to right center. That's something he hasn't done in the last 5 games. He hadn't hit a ball to right field, and he just sticks it out and gets a line drive base hit. Of course, the Rays will go station to station, being down so much. You're not going to take any chances, especially with Mookie Betts.
An easy hold for the third base coach, Rodney Linares, and it's 1st and 3rd, still only 1 out. Kiermaier, who was homered tonight. I wonder if Kershaw is sweating more now than he did during the ball game.
Probably not, but
he came out after 78 pitches in total control. Dodgers open up the big lead, 8-1, and now the Rays trying to make noise and at least jump back in it and make Dave Roberts use the big guns out in his bullpen.
That's the key. That's the guy who probably sweating more right about now is Dave Roberts, hoping.
Here's a line drive base hit by Kiermaier. And to score is Wendell. Bottom of the order doing damage. And Zunino, the number 9 hitter, will step to the plate in a 5-run game with only 1 out.
Well, you said it, and I just can't help but think, being in this position, maybe not as many warm-up pitches as Gonzalez would have liked, and he's been a little flat. And a team that didn't get many singles this entire postseason has strung across a few of them here in this inning, and they're one more hit from really being right back in this ball game.
Well, Zunino has hit 4 home runs this postseason. He could make this a 2-run ball game. Gonzalez looking for the double play ball, ball 1. Baez has to get loose. One of the names on that short list that Dave Roberts said, well, either tonight or tomorrow, we want to stay away from him. Runners at first and second. That's down, and the count 2-0. Zunino with 19 total hits. Regular season and post. 8 of the 19 hits have left the park.
It's a good meeting here to just slow the pace down, give Pedro Baez a little extra time. I believe this will be his last batter.
Now a quick word from Roman.
Get up to $50 off at GetRoman.com/TV. Roman, proud partner, Major League Baseball.
Baez getting loose. Zunino sitting on a pitch. Runners at first and second. Here it comes, and a big swing and a foul on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Gonzalez won't turn 25 until the middle of next month. Lives in Veracruz, Mexico. Signed as a minor league free agent 8 years ago. Key spot here, and a swing and a miss, 2-2.
Well, they took him from the starting role in the minors and wasn't working out as well, and he's flourished in the bullpen. He's got a good arm. The angle at which he throws the ball can be really nasty, or at times, as you've seen here, a little flat and the timing off, and the hitters have squared it up for a couple hits.
Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Zunino lays off. Dylan Floro, the book on him complete for the game, 1/3 of an inning. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 strikeout. Rosso and Kiermaier, the runners on with 1 out here in the 7th. Opportunity for the Rays. That is caught. Unbelievable double play. And the inning is over.
Oh my God.
Zunino can't believe it. And I don't think anybody can. This was a rocket. Victor Gonzalez caught it, starts the double play, and ends the top of the 7th with a 5-run lead.
Leading off for the Dodgers, the left fielder, Chris Taylor.
8-3 ball game, bottom of the 7th inning. Our Good Hands play of the game, sponsored by Allstate.
Yeah, good thing he finished in a pretty good spot. The ball might have found his glove, but he'll tell you he had it the whole time. That ball is a missile, and he threw a missile to Kike Hernandez, and who knows how big of a play that turns out to be, where momentum was gaining.
Here's a foul back by Chris Taylor, strike 1. Fleming back to work.
You know, the hardest part in this game, I really believe, it's a simple statement to live by. Never assume anything, but if you're a reliever, it's difficult to stay locked in no matter what the score is, and to get called that quickly into the game. Your juices are flowing, your adrenaline's going, and you just hope you can connect real quick. But the Dodgers at least avoided a major bad inning.
So after the pinch hitting appearance, Joey Wendell moves from third to short. And Mike Brasso, who was successful with that pinch hitting appearance with an RBI base hit to right, is into the ballgame at third. Meadows takes over in the outfield, and a foul back to the screen, still 1-2.
Brought back some scary memories for me. 7 pitches. I was in my first All-Star game. I wasn't in the bullpen when they called my name. I was in the dugout because no one would take me to the bullpen. I didn't know how to get down there. It was at that time Anaheim Angels at that time, and Tommy Lasorda was the manager, and got to the phone and said, "Get Smoltz up." And he looked over to his right, and I'm like, he goes, "Oh, kid, what are you doing?" I said, "I don't know how to get down there." He goes, "How long will it take you to get ready?" I said, "Give me 7 to 10 throws and I'll be good." And I was in my first All-Star game. Couldn't swallow, couldn't spit.
Here is a strike 3 called, and Taylor's retired for the first time tonight. Fleming got him. Yeah, I mean, stuff happens fast.
Oh, man.
Whether it's an All-Star game or Game 1 of the World Series, 2 hits, a single and a double with 1 out, and all of a sudden Victor Gonzalez goes from standing up in the bullpen to a couple of throws to the ball game.
Yeah, no doubt.
Second strikeout for Fleming as he now deals with Kike Hernandez. RBI single, 1 for 1. Fouls it away right side, a ball and a strike. Looks like Baez will come into the ball game in the 8th. Here's a 1-1. Just missed. 2 balls and a strike. A little bit high. 3-1. To the right side, and taking it to the bag is Diaz for out number 2. And with the bases empty, 2 down, here's the number 9 hitter, Austin Barnes. Fleming came on last inning, gave up the home run to Mookie Betts to start the bottom of the 6th. Later an RBI double to Max Muncy. Here's a ground ball left side. High hop. Wendell moving over from third. Makes the play. 7 innings in the books. Here in game 1. 8-3. Dodgers on top.
Leading off for Tampa Bay, first baseman Yandy Diaz.
Here's our game summary after 7 innings in game 1. Clayton Kershaw, terrific here tonight. Cody Bellinger, a 2-run shot in the 4th inning. Dodgers in the 5th, 4 runs, 3 singles, a couple of walks, 3 steals. Ties a single inning World Series record with the 3 steals. A record that dates back to 1912 and the New York Giants. Here's Pedro Baez. Rays got a couple of runs in the top of the 7th. Dodgers went in order in their half of the 7th, so it is a 5-run ball game. Top of the order, and Yandy Diaz.
Hard to believe this man hasn't had an extra base hit in a long time. Looking to shed that.
4 hits this postseason, gets under this. On the infield, and Kike Hernandez has out number 1. Batter will be Lau. Call the shots during the World Series games and compete for one of 100 cash prizes with MLB Rally, the free-to-play game where you make at-bat predictions in real time. Download MLB Rally app now. Restrictions apply. See official rules at MLB.com/rally. Lau 0 for 3. If nothing else, The Rays would love to see Brandon have a good at bat, get rewarded for it, hang out a line drive somewhere and try to build off that tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about how good he had been for him in the regular season. Really struggling with off speed. That was a high changeup right there. But he has not adjusted to the off speed, the timing of it, especially here in the postseasons.
And then a 93-mile-an-hour fastball up and out of the zone and swung on and missed 0-2.
You know, it never ceases to amaze me that a hitter can go 2-3 weeks and just always be locked in and then get to the plate and feel like he's always got 2 strikes on him. And when you're going bat, you either guess wrong or can't control the strike zone.
That is a rocket foul, and that's another thing that happens. You hit one, a foot foul down the line. His last time up, he fouled one right side, and the ball stayed in play by about 4 feet. And Muncy took care of it. It's just not going Brandon's way right now. But a good player. Been an all-star. And trying to get on here with 1 out in the 8th. Former 3rd-round pick. Came up 2 years ago, waits, and it takes just outside. Ball 1.
He tries to climb the ladder again with a fastball. That's where his vulnerability is, up and down and in for balls off the plate.
1-2 pitch. Hits it one-handed. Little pop-up right side. Betts. Kike Hernandez, and it's Hernandez 2 out. And with the bases empty, the batter will be Arozarena, and we'll give you a quick word from Bacardi.
Break time means it's time for Bacardi Spiced Rum and Cola. Introducing Bacardi Spiced Rum.
Baez. It's phase 2, retired 2, and we'll get to work to Randy Arozarena. At some point during this World Series, I know we will get into the path that Arozarena took just to get to the United States and into the Cardinals organization. We talked about the trade this past January to the Rays. Jose Martinez came with him from St. Louis to Tampa Bay. But his story of how he got out of Cuba pretty frightening for a guy who had to cross the Gulf of Mexico in a small boat. They liken it to basically a kayak. Got to Mexico, really grew up playing soccer. Got a chance to play, and this guy's been getting better and better and better. And it's not like he didn't hit in the minor leagues on top of it all. 2-1 the count.
You got lightning quick hands, and especially in the top of the strike zone. Seeing the power go to all parts of the park.
Former second baseman, now outfielder, DHing. And he gets it down off the end of the bat. Bellinger to his right. And Arozarena 0 for 3 with a walk. And game 1 slides into the bottom of the 8th inning. Dodgers batting, leading by 5. Of the 8th inning, Dodgers bat. The guy who's been all over the place tonight and really in this postseason gives us the Indeed player resume. Second player with a walk and 2 steals in a single inning going back to Babe Ruth, 1921. And he's the first player with 2+ steals, a homer, and 2+ runs in a World Series game. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Other than that, he hasn't done much, but
and I think he saved the NLCS with his glove.
He did. He did. And Dave Roberts can't talk enough about what he means to this team.
How about another hit? Red Sox fans are watching this going, hello, why did we trade this guy? How can they not afford Mookie Betts? He just turned 28, by the way, and he signed a 12 years with the Dodgers. 12.
That's a lot. It's a lot of years. But you know, Mookie Betts, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're going to get at least 10 of those years pretty close to each other.
Yeah, and he's a guy that they don't worry about not being motivated because of all the money, Kenny Rosenthal. I mean, he's been everything they could have hoped for when they gave up young players to get him, and even more.
Joe, the Red Sox are going to have to live with this for a long, long time. And they had opportunities to sign Betts. They tried to sign Betts. They obviously did not offer him the deal that he felt was acceptable. And yes, they got back Alex Verdugo and they got back Jeter Downs, an infield prospect. Yes, they created financial flexibility by also purging David Price's contract. But this is a transcendent player. He's baseball's LeBron James. I don't know that you can ever trade a player like that.
Yeah, I agree. And here's a double play. Well turned by Diaz, and then down to second for a 3-6 twin killing. But all the elements were there for this guy to be the last guy in that, I think it was 50 with the uniform number 50 with the Red Sox to ever wear that for Boston. 27 years old when they deal him. So he just turned 28. The guy's a 5-tool player. He's one of the best people in the game. There's nothing there not to love, and Red Sox fans have to watch him do what he's doing in series like this for, as you said, a long, long time.
Yeah, the Red Sox, of course, got their championships, but then they were going in a different direction based on a lot of things. I'm sure there was kind of like a trickle-down effect that led the Red Sox to get to this point. And then there's really, they're reshaping their organization as we speak, while the Dodgers are hoping they can continue the dominance that they have shown in the National League for the last 8+ years.
And Turner says he's okay. That lets us continue with Kenny Rosenthal. We talked about this during the NLCS. The Dodgers, Kenny, signed Betts to the 12-year deal, but they are not on the hook for much money going forward at all.
Right. No commitments, well, before the Mookie deal starting in 2022. So they are in an incredibly flexible financial position. They've got the monster TV deal, the local TV deal, and they felt, even in the middle of a pandemic, that hopefully, eventually, things will return to normal. Dodger Stadium will be packed again, and they'll have Mookie Betts through the prime of his career.
Big swing by Turner, who narrowly missed a home run his last time up. He's 1 for 4 with a double off the top of the wall. Dave Roberts told us Betts has made him a better manager. And he does a lot of the little things, according to Dave Roberts. And Roberts was a guy who had to work as a player to stay in the big leagues. Betts does a lot of the little things that superstar players rarely do.
Yeah, and it rubs off on the young players. They see Betts taking throws, doing all the things you have to do to become the best outfielder and defender, and then it rubs off on the young player who figures, well, if he's doing that, I should be doing it.
Here's a 2-out walk to Turner. And peeking through a couple of teammates. Can I watch?
I guarantee he's giving some information right there when constantly talking to hitters, constantly talking in between at bats. And you know, the one thing that we've gotten universal from most managers is that this COVID style baseball, although be it difficult for everybody in life, but in sports, just speaking in sports, taking the structure and discipline that a lot of people are used to, they actually like the fact that more players are in the dugout and less time spent in the clubhouse, meaning because of the rules, they're actually talking more baseball amongst themselves and rooting for each other instead of looking at video and different things that go on.
Muncy waits, took a strike. He's had a nice night. Drove in a run on a fielder's choice in the 5th, an RBI double in the 6th, walked and scored in the 4th. Yeah, because of the protocol, there's no video room, so players are on the bench watching the game. There's less time spent at the ballpark, dead time at the ballpark, where some of these guys, you talk to any manager, they think these players today spend way too much time at the park, getting here at noon for a 7 o'clock game, and instead guys are hanging out at the hotel, they're having lunches together, they're becoming better teammates because they're kind of forced to.
Yeah, and he also said there's a lot of players that come to the park for the food. And so it does force them to do some things differently. And there are some sacrifices they're making that have hurt their production, no doubt. Certain guys are not accustomed to the style.
Here's a little floater into right center field off the bat of Muncy on base again. All over the place. A hit, a double play, a walk, a hit, and it's 2 on with 2 out.
You know, the guys have instantaneously after an at-bat would go in, look at the video. They can't do that. There's been some outward complaining about it, but it's just consistent for everybody.
Kevin Cash is out of the dugout. And he's going to take the ball here in the 8th inning. Pitching change with 2 on and 2 out, as the big right-hander John Curtis will come into the ball game. This has not been the Tampa Bay Rays night, but it's just game 1. Bottom of the 8th inning. Dodgers with 2 on, 2 out, leading by 5. Over this postseason, you see the numbers, but that bottom line, the regular season, a big reason why the Rays rolled to the best record in the American League, had a really good year. 3-0, 1.80 ERA in 17 games, 3 starts. Deals with Will Smith. The DH takes a strike.
That's the pitch, the slider, and he's got a very easy delivery. His fastball will cut, but he'll throw primarily 2 pitches. Fastball, 4-seam, and a slider.
6'5", 220. Born in Dallas, Texas. So basically back home for the World Series as we play in Arlington. Socially distanced crowd in the ballpark, making a lot of noise. Those here rooting on the Dodgers have had the majority of the fun, and a strikeout ends the 8th. Dodgers have left 9. They have scored 8. They lead by 5. This is game 1. 9th inning rolls in. Middle inning damage done by the Dodgers. 2 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Leading by 5. Here are the regular season numbers for Joe Kelly. 4th game of the postseason. Has not been used a ton. Takes over here in the 9th inning and deals high with a fastball. Ball 1 to Meadows. Austin struck out against Floro in the 7th.
For a guy who might face him multiple times, this would be a good time to get his fastball going. He throws a lot of power curveballs, but his fastball can get erratic.
That is well hit into left center field. Back is Bellinger on the track. He's got it. A catch and a smile by Cody Bellinger. A catch and frustration for Austin Meadows. 1 out in the 9th.
I can't believe how many robbed home runs we've seen in a short period of time. This one, I think, would have been gone. We'll wait for StatCast to tell us, but he gets back there and he leaps. And of course, at 6'5", I think that ball is gone.
I agree.
And so he has done his part. And it's been
Kelly's pointing to that right shoulder that popped out in the celebration 2 nights ago. Thought he was going to wear a harness or a brace on it tonight. told Tom Verducci he was not. And he's homered. He hit one into the seats and right for the first 2 runs of the ball game back in the 4th. Made that catch, reaching that right arm up high. First pitch of ball. Now Margot takes another 2-0.
Yeah, the only time I thought it might affect him is that ball he was trying to catch in the gap where it looked like he would crash into the wall with his shoulder, and the ball just nicked off his glove for a double. He's been spectacular in center field.
Outfield play has been so good for both teams this postseason, the 2 that are left. The Rays were just all over the place in the ALCS against Houston, and that guy, Mookie Betts, made plays in games 5, 6, and 7, robbing Freddie Freeman of a solo shot in game 7. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Margot. Good pitch. Tight slider in the count, 2-2.
Yeah, the one Mookie made was at a higher fence, and he played it perfectly. I mean, you're talking about the timing and the athleticism. Dodgers are well equipped, as the Rays. Really not many weaknesses.
Full count here.
The Rays' real weakness is their swing and miss. It's their offense. They started out the season in kind of a sluggish form. The manager, Kevin Cash, is like, man, I don't know where we're going to get our offense from. It needs to get going. Well, from that point on, after about 10 or 12 games, they got going and was the best team in the American League, and passed the Yankees, who got off to a great start.
Left them in the dust. Won the division by 7. There's strike 3. 2 down. The Dodgers showed everything tonight with 1 out to go. Power, speed, production up and down the lineup. Defense. Now I'm changing my mind.
Statcast is going to tell us if it was a homer or not.
Doesn't matter. It was a great catch.
Yeah, you might be right. That angle tells a little bit more. But that angle looks like the car commercial.
Speaking of car commercials, with 2 out, nobody on, the batter is Wendell. A Hall of Fame pitcher tonight wanted to make a World Series statement here in 2020, and he did. Clayton Kershaw, 6 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's in line for the win, and that will move him to 3-1 this postseason. He was outstanding. Here's one off the hand of Kelly. Seager got it. And the ball game is over. 1-6-3, and Kelly looks no worse for the wear. A 3-hour, 24-minute game. And the Dodgers never trailed and rode their big 32-year-old left-hander to a Game 1 win.
Yeah, it was a tight game, 2-1 win. The Dodger offense broke it up and scored 4 to make it a 6-1 game in breathing room. And much of what Clayton Kershaw tried to establish today, after the first inning, he was pretty much flawless. And Dave Roberts was allowed to take him out with a big lead. Got a little nervous there in the middle part, but nonetheless, Dodgers take Game 1.
Rays leave 3 on the bases tonight. Dodgers leave 9. Round 1 of this race to 4 wins belongs to Los Angeles. 8-3 is the final. From all of us, a big heave-ho as we throw it out to Los Angeles and Kevin Burkhardt.